Previously, in the failure frame, Memori had a hard childhood because of his abusive parents, and in his high school days, his whole class was filled with fuckers. This Oyamata was bullying Ayaka, and asked for her personal info, but all the assholes kept watching and even their teacher was a fucker who lets it happen, and then the goddess summoned the whole class to another world where demons were becoming a greater threat. Everyone gained superbly high stats and powers, and only Memori got E rank with only stats affliction skill, which can't even affect low-level monsters. So Goddess decided to throw him away in a dungeon where he would die, and all the assholes enjoyed the show, but only Ayaka tried to help but Goddess beats her up, so Memori promised them, if he survived, he will make them pay, and with that he was thrown into the dungeon. But here he discovered his ability works on all kinds of monsters, so he started to hunt down monsters to survive. He paralyzed one monster and used poison on it, and it started its effects as surprisingly it worked, so the revenge seems rather possible now, but using magic drained him of his MP. Yet he had his personal MP, so what will happen if he uses that? Maybe it's life force, but there was no time to think, and paralyze didn't work this time in that monster because same attack don't work on the same target, so he used sleep this time and poison afterwards. It got the monster but it made him tired instantly and there was a lot of it, and Memori started to hunt them down despite consuming personal MP. He felt falling unconscious, but no backing down until he falls near falling. Unconscious, he stood still with his sheer will and suddenly he leveled up and his MP got refilled, which saved his life, so that means Memori could go on a killing spree and level up for survival, so he exactly did that. His skill level also went up which unlocked a new feature, multiple target, so that sure came in handy, but it comes with a range, and the same trick on the same target was still not possible, so he poisoned them all for leveling up. Memori understood that his main thing is his MP. If it runs out his life runs out, then he got a tons of level up from those monsters, so he used all his skills in killing, but still it's best to stay on guard. But those monsters ran off and while exploring Memori took some things from the dead person and kept moving on ahead. He kept on killing monsters and got hungry, but there was no food other than those monsters, so Memori got back, but the body was tough to cut, so he took off its eye to eat, but his whole body was of acid, and his light crystal started to change color. So Memori filled it with mana and found a cola and jerky from the bag. That sure was a lifesaver. And soon, Memori had become the dungeon superior, as he sat around on Dragon and killed him and his minions, but killing like this made him feel bad. When he was a kid enduring those abuses, he felt once like this, but that time his aunt and uncle saved him and he got to know what love is from them, so he calms his heart to accept the reality. Then again while he was exploring, he came across a moron eye and used it for level up, but the surrounding had ruins and the same crystal, so he filled the mana and the door leads him to a place where a couple died from hunger. Seems like a safe place and he got magic crystal from them. Then he went in door to hunt treasure, but the last one took more mana to open, and behind it was a man whose name was Anglin the Dark Hero. Memori remember Goddess said that the Dark Heroes are the strongest, and Anglin was forcefully sent here by that bitch of a goddess after she used him completely, so he left some things for the ones who want to survive. Memori got it that in this world all are evil and he found the spell Book of Anglin, plus a book of forbidden spell. In it Anglin said to be aware of the Soul Eater who kills everyone, so Memori started his journey and saw the exit door which could open with something, so he was sure he had to defeat Soul Eater to get out but the strongest hero was defeated by it, and he saw that reason how, in a split second it made a hole in Memori's hand, so attacking it directly is impossible. He saw the gem he needs, but how to kill it? More so will his skill even work on it? Then the Soul Eater came out and that marks the start of final battle. Soul Eater knew Memori is hiding here and suddenly it threw up and that mud turns into undead. Memori understood right away it's Soul Eater's entertainment and a scream shows how ugly it is. Paralyze worked on undead but Memori couldn't bring himself to kill them. They look like humans whom he saw earlier. Memori felt devastated to kill those who died such a tormenting death, plus they were innocent humans, and the Soul Eater then took out even more to torture Memori. Soul Eater looked like it was having a time of his life tormenting the best human ever, but sometimes you should never get ahead of yourself because there are players who are tricksters. Memori was waiting for this good opening all the while acting like he's been split apart to kill. He never lowered his hand even for a moment, and in the enjoyment Soul Eater never noticed his acting. All this while Memori tried to hide his true merciless self, but not anymore. He said even if demons are made from human souls, he wouldn't kill them, to survive, and now that expression was worth all the acting he did, so after making fun of it, Memori killed the boss and leveled up his skill. After that all the soul it ate, he fed all of them. They rejoiced in their moment of freedom. And the couple thanked Memori for defeating the Soul Eater. Their Anglin requests him to deal with the goddess, and all the souls vanished. But that goes without saying because the bitch will pay for what she did, and Memori now left the dungeon from which no one had returned back alive. And right there, the episode 2 ended, but if you want to watch more then subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon, and please like the video to support me, and also, if you haven't watched episode 1, the playlist link is in the description. Please watch episode 1 to understand the storyline. Until then, take care.